We're trying to get the complainant's 90-year-old mother to go to Walmart with us. The van's supposed to be under the overpass, correct? 10-4.
We have new information into the crash banking name that killed Corpus Christi Police Chief Floyd Simpson. A separate DPS report states his blood alcohol level was a 0.07%, just below the point 0.08 needed to be considered legally intoxicated. The Port Aransas Police Department today released a formal report on the crash, this coming a day after a grand jury decided to not file any charges against the teenager involved. That teenager was driving a truck northbound on Highway
enable us amidst
to be refreshed
and renewed by the
transforming
your
report just released.
impart to us a profound sense of
laid down
gratitude,
his bike when a
thankful
car in
that in
front of
your
him took
sovereign
evasive action
purposes
and turned right
we are
to
a
avoid
people
the
receiving
stop.
liberty,
As Simpson
shaped by
on the
adversity,
highway,
dedicated
he was
to
determined that his
equality,
helmet clip
while
was
fully
fully
dependent
dependent on making his mental
according to God and trust.
It had been originally
Father, grant to us
reported
a new sustained by the enduring faith and self-evident. Equip us by your Spirit to be a Senate defined by consensus through compassion, expertise enlightened by experience, leadership resistant to polarization and expediency, yet intentional in unity, honesty, transparency, and integrity. As together we seek to be one nation under God. We bring our prayers to you and into the name of
policy with a recent vote. That was the decision earlier this evening by the Commission, which met to determine if the complaint had merit to move forward to an evidentiary hearing. The complaint centers on a vote Magil took last month regarding a sewer water project in the Chapman Ranch area. The complaint filed states Magil had a conflict when he voted to defund the project. Magil has said he did nothing wrong, and the agenda item did not say anything about annexation. Until that vote, Magil had previously abstained from discussing or voting on items about city annexation because of a conflict with his job.
Under the provisions of Rule 1, Paragraph 3 of the Standing Rules of the Senate, I hereby appoint the Honorable Cindy Goldstein, Senator from the State of Mississippi, to perform the duties of the Chair. Signed, R.T. Hatch, President Pro Tempore.
Attended today's meeting.
Under the previous order, the leadership time is
Corpus Christi
reserved.
police officer who was arrested back in April for molesting a 13-year-old girl is back in jail after his bond was revoked. Robert A. McChester Jr., 27, will be staying for his time around at the Aransas County Jail until an August 30th sentencing hearing. The officer pleaded guilty last week to charges of using the internet for sexual anti-Semitic. McChester was arrested Friday on a warrant stating he perjured himself during the hearing the day before. During the Thursday hearing, McChester answered questions about investigators' findings, including nearly a dozen driver's licenses from his McChester said he had obtained the licenses in 2007 while working as a doorman for a local nightclub. Police investigators later discovered two of the licenses were issued in 2010, while the third was issued in 2011. Senior Officer Christopher Lynch, an investigator with the police department's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, testified Monday that he was able to reach two of the people whose licenses were found. One woman told Lynch an officer matching McChester's description took her license before letting her go in May 2011 during an early morning traffic stop. Another man said his license was confiscated by an officer matching the description of McChester during an April 2010 traffic stop in which he also was released, Lynch said. Corpus Christi police record to list McChester as the officer who made those stops. Lynch testified. McChester exchanged sexually charged messages online with a 14-year-old girl for about a year and met her for sexually a dozen times before the teenager met by April 3rd at a Corpus Christi hospital, according to a federal affidavit. The both said their ongoing relationship began when she met McChester while she was a freshman at Tulsa Midway High School, where McChester worked as a security officer, according to court records. McChester was arrested April 10th following the filing of a criminal complaint and resigned from the police department the next day. He faces 10 years to life in prison.
I think it's going to be the Andy guy again, Asian male, bright blue shirt with pink lettering, khaki shorts.
It shows the professionalism of this.
You took him away.
Every week we have...
Nah, he didn't want to get in. Go ahead. Hey, y'all can slow it down for now. We're not seeing anything right now.
Doing the arrest.
Yeah, I have all.
22 Corpus Christi police officers
Thank you.
internally for a variety of offenses. 6 of them involved.
Make sure there's nothing open on her.
And we're highlighting the worst.
Yeah, it's a I can double check all that. I believe it's transient. White female and 2 males came up and grabbed her from behind and grabbed her backpack. She fell to the ground. She's declining the EMS. 10-4. 10-4.
Lewis was arrested for...
For 29.
Senate's continuing our productive focused on confirming more of the President's qualified nominees.
361-462-9319. 4:30 p.m. Lewis MEChANiCAL is planning on going home. They think they can target me by calling me on the telephone.
Each of these nominees has been selected by the President and his team for their...
It's likely the bitch at Lewis MEChANiCAL sells. She's driving a green Miata today instead of a black Toyota. She wrecked on ice and methamphetamine and shit.
On the Judiciary Committee. Ryan Bounds is no exception. He's earned degrees from Stanford and Yale. He clerked for the very Ninth Circuit judge he's been nominated to succeed. For the past 14 years, he's distinguished himself as a public servant at the Department of Justice and in his current role as Assistant U.S. Attorney for Oregon. Along the way, he's earned the respect and recognition of legal professionals from across the country and the political spectrum. 46 of his colleagues in the District of Oregon described his admirable work ethic, keen judgment, masterful writing as skills that colleagues and opponents alike seek to emulate. In a letter to our Senate colleagues from Oregon, criminal defense attorneys who've litigated against Mr. Bounds testified to his quote, fairness, diligence, and legal acumen. They write he has shown time and time again, he's a man of his word, he's an excellent lawyer, and would make an outstanding judge. A number of law professors from across the country seem to agree. They remind us of the standards to which this body is charged with holding judicial nominees. Fairness, impartiality, intellectual rigor. To sum it up, in the words of one legal purist, Ryan has all of this and more. So, Madam President, I look forward to voting to confirm this excellent nominee. I would urge all of my colleagues to join me. Speaking of excellent nominees, I'd like to speak for a moment about President Trump's outstanding choice for the Supreme Court, Judge Kavanaugh. This week, even more of our colleagues have had the opportunity to meet with Judge Kavanaugh. I'm sure they'll agree that it's hard not to come away impressed. The academic achievement, the judicial credentials, the esteem of his peers and fellow legal professionals. Of course, that hadn't stopped the far-left special interest groups from grasping at straws and trying to smear this nominee any way they can. They don't seem to care whether it's honest or not. They don't seem to care whether it's accurate or not. The latest made-up controversy is an attempt this week to make hay out of comments Judge Kavanaugh made about the long-ago expired independent counsel statute. But once again, there's no there whatsoever. Here, Madam President, are the facts. Judge Kavanaugh's apparent concerns about the independent counsel law appear in line with mainstream views that have been widely held on both sides of the political aisle. Views that were, in fact, strongly held by many of my Democratic colleagues, at least until there was an opportunity to try to make political hay. Congress chose to let the statute expire back in 1999, based in large part on constitutional concerns. Let me say that again. The Congress in 1999, on a bipartisan basis, decided to let the independent counsel statute expire. My colleague, the senior senator from Illinois, the Democratic leader, independent right now, explained this well when he was fighting any attempt to renew the statute. Here's what he said in 1999 about the independent counsel. Unchecked, unbridled, unrestrained, and unaccountable. My friend from Illinois punctuated his enthusiasm for the demise of the independent counsel by saying, I'd like to say to Judge Starr and all of the counsels, your days are numbered. I agreed with him about the independent counsel statute. A number of us in both parties saw it the very same way. So we happily allowed the law to expire. This has nothing to do with special counsel. That's different from the independent counsel. The day the independent counsel statute expired, the day we actually finished the impeachment trial of President Clinton during the Senate, Senator Chris Godwin of Connecticut and I went upstairs and had a press conference and said we agree the independent counsel statute ought to be allowed to expire. And it did. That has nothing, Madam President, to do with special counsels or any of the other tools that are currently in place for elected officials to be held accountable. This has nothing to do with any investigations that are in the headlines today. Judge Kavanaugh was talking about was a law that has not existed for 2 decades, and which the Supreme Court upheld with only a single dissenting vote. And one of the dissenters in the case that upheld the independent counsel statute was Justice Scalia. The irony, or hypocrisy, is that our Democratic colleagues are now criticizing Judge Kavanaugh because he may hold the same views on this subject that they did. Or at least they did up until Judge Kavanaugh was nominated. A view that was shared and acted upon by members in this body on both sides of the aisle, as I have explained. So another day, another off-base attack. Here's how Newsweek dismissed this tempest in the Tea Party. Law experts told Newsweek that Kavanaugh's view on independent counsels has nothing to do with special counsels or Mueller's probe. And in fact, the two types of federal investigations are completely different. Yet again, the far-left special interest groups who are desperate to deny Judge Kavanaugh fair treatment are hoping the media will buy their latest made-up charge. Remember the outrage when it was learned that Judge Kavanaugh enjoys baseball? My goodness. Well, I'm proud the president has chosen a nominee as strong as Judge Kavanaugh. We should put aside these unfair attacks and misrepresentations and give his nomination the fair treatment it deserves. Now, the final matter, this week I've discussed a number of converging reports that highlight the strength of this economy for middle-class families and job creators. U.S. retail sales just increased for the 4th consecutive month. Earlier this year, consumer confidence hit its highest level since 2000. More than 1 million new jobs already created in 2018. More job openings than job seekers for the first time in more than 15 years. Over 95% of U.S. manufacturers reporting confidence in their company's outlook, an all-time high. And just this morning, Madam President, this announcement from the Department of Labor. In the second week of July, new claims for unemployment benefits fell to their lowest level since 1969. All of these favorable trends are interrelated. Jay Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, testified before our colleagues on the banking committee this week that, quote, robust job gains, rising after-tax income, and optimism among households have lifted consumer spending this month. To put it even more simply, American employers are doing better, so American workers are doing better. So American families are doing better. So American businesses are doing better. This is how a vibrant, growing economy works. This is what happens when Washington, D.C. swallows up less of the American people's money in taxes. When it imposes fewer heavy-handed regulations that make it hard to do business and get the bureaucracy's foot off the brake of our economy. This is among the best, quite possibly the best, economic moments for jobs and opportunities that Americans have seen in recent memory. The policies of this united Republican government help bring it about, and they're helping to sustain it. Earlier this week, the Wall Street Journal reported tax cuts appear to be propelling robust consumer demand. Many households are experiencing less withholding from their paychecks thanks to the tax overhaul. According to a recent survey, fewer than 1 in 5 American manufacturers now say that an unfavorable climate due to things like taxes and regulations is a primary obstacle to their businesses. 2013, during the Obama economy, more than 2/3 of the manufacturers said that. 2/3 said it was a problem. 2013, only 1 in 5. Across the country, job creators of all sizes have announced worker bonuses, pay raises, and business expansion. Many say loud and clear that tax reform is what made it possible. The American people voted. Republicans kept their promises. So now middle-class families are seeking the effects of pro-growth policies they asked for in 2016. And the whole world is seeing what the American people can accomplish when their government gets off about 4 to 6 minutes.
2 weeks ago for assaulting a family member. He was picked up in Arlington that same day after a car accident and shipped back to Dallas to face
Clerk will call the roll.
I'm not sending a message.
Officer from that same police academy class that graduated in August.
Yeah, Lewis MEChANiCAL Sales. If our house is federally run, why isn't that good enough? You gotta fuck it up and make it even worse for us, right? Because we're supposed to be under federal investigation because your fucking stupid bitch ass sits over there and fucking tells us how we're being run by the government every fucking day and what we hear and what we are and how we're targeted and everything. You freak ass fucking meth addict bitch! Fuck you, Lewis MEChANiCAL cunt!
Just an FYI, techs are gone for this evening. We don't have any techs here tonight. 7-2 copy. Walking out at 322.
Now, William X-ray 6951. Are you still in town?
No, I already left. I'm over at Sanders, I'm sorry.
For over 27 years. Now,
CPC belongs to the staff member.
Told me today that they were in the early stages of investigating
residential fire, 122 Green Trail. 122 Green Trail.
Reasons, but Police Chief Floyd Simpson said
okay, thank you.
In their investigation,
Does the timing
Mansham, 40-year-old female, conscious and breathing. Information still coming in. One call fire dispatch 1525. 90s right now. I'm getting all 93s. I see are going to be 1229 93 and 917 93. Okay, and that was with a Z?
Outside his apartment.
Fourth was all in the Z.
Only underwear.
Lincoln Victor 1966.
You got somebody else, you can get back in line, but I'm going to stay here. I'm going to try to get his social from him. I'll start transport to your location.
Tonight, no one has no questions about what
I'm a Garrett, kindergarten teacher at Shannon.
District Attorney Mark Skirka.
I don't know what it is. We haven't heard any information from the hospital of what the situation is.
The incident happened sometime around 6:30 this morning, just outside the Limerick Apartments on Chaparral and Cooper's Alley. This is where Morel lives. According to a witness who did not want to appear on camera, it took 4 police officers to subdue Morel, telling us one officer had to place a knee on Morel's back to keep him on the ground. According to residents at Morel's apartment complex, they found his apartment door wide open. Morel's boss says the young prosecutor was not arrested and is not facing any charges. According to Skirka, the officers knew something was not right with Morel.
Officers are trained to recognize situations for what they are, and if a person is a danger, could be a danger to themselves or others, they would seek medical treatment instead of putting them in the city detention center. And that's my understanding of what happened.
Now, the young prosecutor, who has only been working in the DA's office for about 4 to 6 months, was transported to Spa Memorial for evaluation. No word of alcohol or drugs may have been involved. Jeff, that's bizarre.
Some scary moments outside of Grant Middle School this morning for parents who are dropping off their kids. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Dr. Diarte.
And I'm Rudy Trevino. CCISD officials say a CCISD officer who was trying to direct traffic was forced to pull out his gun on a driver. Bill Churchward, Grant Middle School, with today's top story.
That's not on that side of town. Well, imagine you have about 1,100 kids being dropped off. You have a lot of traffic, and what you do not have are crossing guards. You only have one CCISD police officer trying to direct the chaos.
Yeah, it's real smart. Radicalize somebody and try to drive them crazy when they got guns. That's smart. Yeah, that's a smart thing to do in Texas.
At the windshield of a small silver car during that time, witnesses say kids were all over the school property and saw the whole thing go down. The officer was forced to draw his weapon after a woman behind the wheel of the car hit the officer. It happened around 8:30 this morning when district officials say the officer was directing traffic and the woman was attempting to do a U-turn and go the wrong way. Witnesses say the woman was stuck in traffic and confused. However, after repeated commands from the officer to stop, the driver ended up hitting the officer. 31-year-old Misty Rojas, who also goes by the name of Melissa, was cuffed and taken into custody for assault on a public servant. Now, we spoke with one witness who actually took up for the driver.
He was standing in front of the car telling her to like back up, and she couldn't because, you know, she was going to hit the curb. So he kept telling her back up, back up. She wouldn't do it, so he pulled his gun out on her, which forced her to edge back and hit the curb, and he just sat there with his gun out.
Now, I spoke with CCISD police chief by phone, who said his officer acted appropriately and that he has an obligation to prevent a person from causing harm to himself or anyone else. The officer, whose name has not been released, will be okay. He was checked out and he will be on light duty for a few days. But back out here live, a letter actually went home with students this afternoon letting parents know about the incident and actually has some do's and don'ts. What's expected from parents when they pick up and drop off their kids? Reporting live tonight, Bill Churchwell, 3 News. Now back to you.
Bill, thanks a lot for that report. Amazing.
Story is first at 6. 5 police officers involved in the confrontation at airline with Cimarron were put on paid administrative leave as a matter of routine, but they're all said to be back on duty tonight. Reports said the man has been questioned for riding his bike the wrong way down airline. They say he resisted arrest and that they were forced to use pepper spray and the taser weapon to subdue him. However, detectives continue to investigate the incident, and they say they'd like to talk to anyone who may have whipped.
There are 2 different routes. I don't know if you show me clear or you show me. And she's in 1010 if you want to make contact. But I'm clear. I think we're there.
We had an update. The man that was tasered and pepper sprayed Lady Died. We had an update. This was about the Corpus Christi Police Department and the use of taser. There have been multiple taser deaths on the hands of police. No police have lost their jobs. The victims are all dead.
340 traffic. 340 location.
Well, your tax dollars are being wasted. That's what local defense attorney Charles Six investigates. They say the Nueces County District Attorney's Office is forcing them into needless trials, and it's costing you money, especially when the defense is court appointed. That means your tax dollars are paying for both the prosecution and the defense. Investigative reporter Andrew Ellison joins us now live in the studio with more.
Now, in lawyer speak, it's called overcharging. It's when a defendant is charged with something like a first-degree felony, but ends up being convicted of a much lesser charge. Local defense attorneys say it's happening more often. They call it a waste of your time and a waste of your money.
Lewis Mechanical employees are leaving now. Thank God.
Who were charged with 7 counts of first-degree child abuse and several lesser charges after the family was found living out of their car on the beach. Each one of those first-degree charges is punishable by up to 99 years in prison. These parents couldn't afford representation, so the court appointed defense attorneys for them, meaning taxpayers paid the bill. The Sanders trial cost over $150,000 in attorney's fees alone. One of the defense attorneys on the case, Terry Shamsey, says the whole trial could have been avoided had the DA's office charged it correctly. He says it's likely a deal would have been cut. Shamsey says this is a pattern with the DA's office. Prosecutors bring unrealistic charges, then offer unrealistic plea deals, leaving defense attorneys with no choice but to go to trial.
I couldn't sleep at night if I told my client to take something that was completely overcharged, completely ridiculous. It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be fair.
Lisa Greenberg was recently appointed to defend a homeless man charged with criminal trespassing at a local strike. She said he was talking to the wall.
You could take this case, and then I won't, so I'm going to try the case, and I'm going to tell those jurors, I'm going to tell every single one of those jurors, this taxpayer money could have been spent on resources to help this man. You're not going to criminalize the mental illness out of him. You know, this is where prosecutorial discretion should kick in.
She's saying the prosecutors still have the ability to make reasonable deals, but as defense attorney Mark Stolley has observed, they're not always given the chance.
When they open the file, they'll say, you know, I can't offer you anything but X number of years in prison. And that's from the higher up.
We charge what the law allows, period.
District Attorney Mark Sturka says his office charges according to the evidence it collects, adding that the criminal justice system only works in one direction.
We can't undercharge and then go up, but the jury can make it go down.
As for the plea deals, Sturka says the prosecutors are only given marching orders on felony cases, or cases with repeat offenders.
When you have a defendant trying felonies who've only been here a year or two, they don't have the experience of that 10, 15-year defense attorney.
Defense attorney Mark Gonzalez says whatever the intent is, there's a huge gap
right there on the side, there's like a parking lot in the junction point right there on the side.
So how do I know that, right? I go to trial every week, and how do I know that they're not reasonable? Because the offer they give me, whether it's 40 years, and I get them probation, or the offer they give me is 40 years, and I get them 5 years.
And the other charge, what's to be possible, regardless of the taxpayer for the bill.
Of course, it also costs money to keep many of these defendants in jail before and during trial if they can't find out. The DA says cost is never a factor in deciding whether or not to try a case. He says that would conflict with the officer's duty to seek justice. Jeff?
Copy that, Med 13.
We'll see in this movie unlawful ID checks conducted routinely at Johnny's home.
Number advice 6100 Elizabeth. Is it possibly 1600 Elizabeth?
Can I get your license? I just want to...
I don't have nothing on me.
Okay.
This movie will show how Johnny gets harassed by police for simple non-illegal things like painting. Johnny is not allowed to do anything. Johnny the business owner is not allowed to have non-illegal things like equipment. In this movie you will see false incarcerations and the unlawful reasons why.
What's going on? Well, Keith Allen Tolley's in fucking Indiana, so the guy that forced his way in home a year ago, he stabbed me, tried to kill me, and he threw me in jail for 2 months for it. And ever since then, I've been hearing this radio harassment shit. I've been recording it in there. I believe they come in and heard a little bit of it. Oh, I got plenty of fucking recordings. I got 5 years. No. Well, I've just been sending them to the FBI. I've been complaining down to you guys. Or whatever you want to call it, surveillance harassment. I mean, I listen to bastards for an hour tell me to fucking kill myself.
On the surveillance, what are you... Okay, I understand what you're listening to and the stuff that you're doing on the radio show, but are you wanting to hurt yourself?
No.
Are you trying to hurt yourself?
I don't want to go to jail either.
Well, I'm not going to take you to jail, I just want to know if you're trying to hurt yourself.
with Progressive County Mutual Insurance.
because I can talk usually around one of my cell phones, and there'll be a radio response, usually on 800 megahertz.
What's your first name?
Johnny.
Johnny. Are you trying to hurt yourself, or are you wanting to hurt yourself?
No. Anyway, that Keith Tully, the knife that he stabbed me with in the legs when he was on top of me trying to kill me, was actually even entered in evidence in his name. I can't understand, it's on the reports too. I can't understand how they let him go back to Indiana. He's even been harassing me on the internet afterwards. And I got the wind turbine business, and they had me on the news and said I was just a customer, and he was a real wind turbine business owner, all kinds of shit. It was all over the internet. I still got one thing in Car Times News, but I can't get them to take it off. Even though I was never even formally charged with anything.
Johnny, right?
Yeah.
Madam President.
Democratic leader?
Unanimous consent, the form be dispensed with.
Without objection.
Now, Madam President, in the 3 days since the President returned from his humiliating display of obsequiousness in Helsinki,
pretty much I've got
he has offered numerous explanations for his behavior. First, he said the media was too focused on the negative, and that his summit with Putin was a great success.
Why am I under arrest? Why am I being detained? Why am I being...
There was, in fact, a problem. He attempted to walk back some of his comments, but he even couldn't commit to that, ad-libbing that other people could also be responsible.
Oh, I'm a mess right now. Inside
24 hours later,
searching for a sweet surrender, but this is not the end.
And then astounding,
I can't work it out.
Astounding. As yesterday, Russia was still attacking our election system. The President replied, This was, of course, followed by yet another implausible clarification in which, surprise, his press secretary told reporters that's not what the President meant. Although when you actually looked at the tape, it was clear as a bell it was what the President meant. He was saying that Russia was not still attacking our election system. Once again, disbelieving all of the fine men and women who labor quietly, diligently.
You will hear evidence of possible terrorists calling Johnny's home, harassing him.
The constantly shifting, insincere, and thoroughly unconvincing explanations for the President reveal that his President and his team do not understand the depth of President Trump's blunders with Putin. And frankly, any post-hoc clarification and substitute for repeal of failure all his walkbacks, which then get done, but all his walkbacks are done in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's this man who prides himself on being strong, afraid to say these things to Putin, and he has to wait till he's 6,000 miles away to say them. One of the most stunning things about the summit was the President's openness to a request by President Trump to question former United States Ambassador in Moscow Michael McCall and other Americans. In Helsinki, the President described the request as part of, quote, an incredible offer, unquote. The President's spokeswoman was asked about it yesterday. She confirmed the President and his team would discuss it. That President Trump would even consider handing over a former U.S. ambassador to Putin and his cronies for interrogation is bewildering.
Because Johnny owns ABB.
No president should have the power to gift-wrap American citizens, let alone former ambassadors.
There he is. I can't discharge my gun, no.
How can President Trump and his...
Maybe he'll get hit by a car.
No,
he's just stopping traffic.
How can
he's going after FedEx.
A democracy, the rule of law, the system of open and fair prosecution we have in this country with what Putin did not do.
They have turned Johnny's life into a police state prison.
President every day demeans the United States. So many Americans are saying
career challenge. If you're 18 years or older with a high school diploma or GED, the Nueces
the
County
President agreed to such a
a
request.
career as a corrections
Congress must
officer
do everything in its
just what you're looking
power.
for a rewarding future. Visit us by going online or
No
calling
limited
us
debate,
at
no limited discussion. We must be clear
361-887-2235.
and clear quickly.
That's
This morning, Senator Menendez, Senator Schatz, and I plan to offer a simple resolution that states, quote, "It is the sense of Congress that the United States should refuse to make available any current or former diplomat, civil servant, political appointee, law enforcement official, or member of the armed forces of the United States for questioning by the government of Vladimir Putin. This body must agree on the importance of protecting."
Some others don't like me, they try and bad mind me when Kano comes to town. All I say is mine's right and they lose the limelight when Kano comes around. Some cats screw me or even see me, but
this incredible offer, as President Trump so casually and incorrectly called it, raises other serious questions. What else has President Trump agreed to behind closed doors? What else has he discussed with President Putin? President Trump and President Putin met for nearly 2 hours behind closed doors. No one else present but a translator. And hardly anyone knows what was said. Has Secretary Pompeo been briefed on that private behind closed doors meeting? No, he hasn't said so. Does our military know if President Trump made commitments about our nuclear arsenal? Who knows? Secretary Mattis hasn't said whether he's been briefed. Do we know if President Trump made commitments about the security of Israel or Syria or North Korea or any of the other issues the President said he discussed with Putin? Utterly amazing that no one knows what was said. This is a democracy. If our president makes agreements with one of our leading, if not our leading adversary, his cabinet has to know about it, and so do the American people. These questions for Congress in an open setting as soon as possible. That's why I've called on the Republican leadership to demand that Secretary of State Pompeo, Ambassador Huntsman, and crucially, the translator present at the closed-door session be made to testify before the Senate. That should come immediately. Because, Madam President, the events this week raise serious questions about the President's ability to responsibly and safely conduct this nation's foreign policy, about his ability and willingness to defend the United States and its citizens, about his very ability to govern in so many ways. Confronted with these grave questions, I believe the sanctions act to show our country's resolve, to punish Putin for his interference, and never allow such a thing to happen again, to ensure the President is doing what's necessary to stand up for American interests. I have proposed, many of my colleagues on this side of the aisle have proposed, a bunch of things we can do right now to take action in the wake of President Trump's indefensible summit with President Putin. Democrats are not in the majority. We don't control the floor. We need our Republican colleagues to control the Senate to join us on these measures. The lack of action, just words, lack of action by our Republican colleagues is stunning and deeply disappointing. Not just since Monday, sadly, we haven't seen movement from our colleagues in the majority. Just more slow walking. understand my friends Senator Coons and Flake are working on introducing a resolution to support the consensus of our intelligence agencies and to request congressional oversight. We're all for it. I hope it passes with unanimous consent that it deserves. But my Republican friends can and must do more. Actions, not just resolutions and statements of disapproval. We shouldn't need this resolution. Things asked for in this resolution should have been happening already. And the burden, patriotism, protecting America's security is on Leader. I know he has a difficult situation. I know he has a president who can sometimes be vindictive. Our country's security, our country's direction, our country's honor. We need to bring Secretary of State Pompeo, Ambassador Hudson, and the rest of President Trump's national security team from Helsinki, including the translator who was present in the one-on-one meetings with Putin, right here before the Congress. I know he has a difficult situation. I know he has a president. We need to pass legislation to protect Special Counsel Mueller. Bipartisan legislation already. Pass that into the sheriff. Senator Grassley support. It's on the floor. We need to bring Secretary.
2012, he was driving down Alameda after drinking and crashed his truck into a utility pole, then left the scene without making a single phone call or telling anyone about that crash cut the pool in half.
Because one of the most logical explanations
Orta Jr. was the officer accused of making a terroristic threat against the local record driver. At the end of June, Orta, who had been drinking, then drove himself and the friend to the record lot around 2:30 a.m. to get the friend's car back. Orta was drunk, but identified himself.
We need to implement sanctions against Russia. Not weaken. We need to demand that Putin hand over the 12 Russians indicted for election. We need to harden our election infrastructure so that what happened in 2016 never happens again. These are all common sense measures. Most of them have bipartisan support already.
Special report found officer misconduct
they will accomplish
following an internal affairs
for America what the president has been unwilling or unable to do. My Republican colleagues refuse to pursue any, if not all, of these items. They are de facto consent to the president's capitulation.
Now that he has gotten away with DUI, why wasn't a breath analysis done like they do, or anyone else?
Finally, Madam President, on health care. Ever since Republicans were handed the keys to both houses of Congress and the White House after the 2016 election, they've engaged in a protracted campaign of sabotage against our health care system. Premiums are going up, coverage is going down, and it's all falling in the laps of our Republican colleagues in the House and Senate. President Trump and congressional Republicans proposed legislation that would have gutted Medicaid, allowed insurers to charge them, and deny coverage just because a person got sick, excluding critical benefits, imposing lifetime or annual limits on care. Under the cover of night, Republicans dismantles the health care's coverage requirement without putting anything in its place. The Trump administration canceled a federal program that helped low-income customers afford insurance and expanded the availability of junk insurance plans that sucker Americans in with low premiums but then hardly cover anything. And people are saying when they have these plans, why did I even buy insurance? But they would do it. Now, worse yet, the administration has directed the Justice Department to stop defending the constitutionality of protections for Americans with pre-existing medical conditions, turning its back on the most popular and humane advancement in our healthcare system over the decades. I'd say to my Republican friends here, go to your constituents, ask if someone has someone sick in their family. You'll get a lot of hands. And then ask them if they should be excluded from gaining insurance. Health insurance to help that sick member. See how many support these ideas. They try to do them in the dark of night. It's not going to work. In August, we Democrats are going to be talking about this over and over again. And believe me, it'll probably be the most important factor in the 2018 elections, as the American people will rebel from the taking away of health care. Imagine going back to the days when a mother with a child who has cancer can no longer find affordable health care for her daughter. When hardworking Americans who fall on hard times are made to suffer, denied health care coverage precisely because they need it. How wrong, how backward, how immoral. Well, that's where President Trump wants to take us, and that's where all of our Republican colleagues seem to be following. Later this morning, actually right now, a group of Democrats are announcing about how we plan to fight back against this lawsuit the Trump administration has put in place and preserve the protections for up to 130 million non-elderly Americans with elderly, fortunately, since we still have Medicare, despite efforts by some on the other side to cut it back, to protect them. As millions of Americans watch their health care costs go up, as they read about the news about the Republican latest effort to undo health care protections, they fear for the future and wonder who in Washington will be fighting for them. In November, they'll have a chance to vote for a party who will check the president's dangerous health care sabotage, who will work to bring down costs, improve quality, who will never undermine the protections of Americans with pre-existing conditions. I look forward to the response to my colleague's announcement of our lawsuit. I yield the floor.
In the last couple of weeks, we've had an ongoing investigation.
I'll be en route to the fuel barn, fuel up 3151.
Who had an allegation of tire theft. The allegation was brought to us by another city.
The number is going to be 180-6586.
We observed this individual.
Morning business is closed. Under the previous order, the Senate will proceed to executive session to resume consideration of the following nomination, which the clerk will report.
Nomination to the judiciary, Brian Wesley Bounds of Oregon, to be United States Circuit Judge for the United States.
Did you have a last four?
Not much to say.
Test for Annabelle, test only, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio is going through Z-Tron only at this time.
4 different episodes.
Expires 8/31/2018 with an address out of Rockport, Texas.
And they need to be dealt with at that time. So.
Yeah, I guess Lewis MEChANiCAL figured getting paid by Nueces County law enforcement or the city of Corpus Christi to run radio equipment to try and avoid a $10.5 million lawsuit. Yeah, I guess Lewis.
With the social not finding any local history.
I think when the chief gives you
7 Harris references call.
What I'll tell you is that
3937 Harris.
was because
On your
things
MVP.
were actually happening.
And then the last name, spell it for me, Ibarra.
So, specifically on this case, I can't tell you what corrective management action is needed. I can tell you as a principle, just like I said yesterday, when we get a lead on a criminal complaint or a suspicion of criminal activity, we're going to investigate it, we're going to prosecute it. And if we get to a point
Adam, 331, there's nothing on city side. The advisor's going to be in the county. I'll be clear.
Future performance improvement team to go in and fix it inside the Well, there's a criminal side and the employment side.
Yeah, it's not the first time Lewis MEChANiCAL run a Windows computer connected to radio equipment with voice-activated commands on it. A receiving radio plugged into the microphone input of the computer. Yeah, it's not the first time a transmitting radio windows into the output of the radio.
869 access road.
Coming up tonight on 6 Police officer
caught in a lie that led to the chief's resignation and gutted the police department, and now...
Isn't that what the city employee brought to Lewis Mechanical yesterday and spent fucking a couple hours over there setting up for Lewis Mechanical? The VAC, voice activated command, that radio employee.
Against city leaders.
There's a 19-year-old female trying to assault the complainant's pregnant daughter. Supposed to be UID on synthetic and cocaine.
Whose body cam recorded him lying about a domestic disturbance call, and Chief Landry.
Jasmine Controller.
Forced to choose between doing the right thing and disciplining that cop, or keeping his own job. The man Cap hired to replace Lander tells 6 Investigate he sees nothing wrong with what that officer did, and that in his experience, lying is as much a part of being a cop.
Yes, Minute 6, be advised there's going to be code 1 here for today with a 35-year-old female patient possibly having a mental breakdown at this point. Family members are saying stated that she possibly has been up for about 3 days and maybe has taken some meth. At this time, she's just a little altered. Blood pressure is
13-year-old girl has recently come forward with allegations of molestation in 2003 and 2004 by a Corpus Christi police officer, 32-year-old Ruben Jaime Ramirez. Ramirez and the girl's mother dated for 2 years and lived together at one point. Ramirez is a 5-year vet of the police department. Last month he was placed on paid administrative leave after Internal Affairs began investigating the charges. Ramirez is now fired from the Corpus. Ramirez is being charged with 5 felony counts of indecency with a child by sexual contact. Ramirez was being held in Nueces County Jail on a $100,000 bond in a separate cell for security reasons. Each separate count would net Ramirez 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 in fines apiece.
This shows the professionalism of this police department.
A Corpus Christi police officer took a plea deal on Monday for 90 days in jail and probation for molesting a 15-year-old girl last year. Julian Bass, 47, pleaded guilty to 3 counts of indecency with a child by sexual contact, a second-degree felony. Corpus Christi cop Julian Vasquez, 47, gets 90 days jail in a plea deal for 3-count sexual indecency with child, and they call this justice?
Officer-involved shootings involving Corpus Christi police officers since 2009. May 9, 2009, Sylvester Villasano of Cinta is shot and killed by a Corpus Christi police officer in vacant lot on the corner of Port and Dillon Avenues after leading police on a high-speed car chase and foot pursuit. Police said Villasano was holding a cell phone in one hand and an open folding knife in the other. June 19, 2009, Arlene Burleson is shot by Corpus Christi police officers after leading police on a brief pursuit from a home in the 3300 block of Jamaica Drive. Burleson got out of a vehicle and aimed a gun at officers, who shot Burleson in the hand and upper shoulder. July 25, 2011, Brian Agolf is shot and killed by Corpus Christi police officers outside a convenience store in Flower Bluff after holding a cashier at gunpoint and later threatening officers. Police later discovered that Agolf was holding a BB gun, and the death was not justified. General Christopher Scott was shot and killed by Corpus Christi police officers. McGill, 23, is shot in the chest and leg during police shooting with several Corpus Christi police officers. Police say he shot at 2 officers. No gun was seen in dashcam videos in the neighborhood near the Corpus Christi Country Club and tried to get away in a police vehicle. 2 officers were injured. McGill survived and has been charged with 2 counts of attempted capital murder and an authorized November 9, 2014, a Corpus Christi police officer shot Daniel Kavanaugh, 37, after responding to a warehouse in the 2000 block of Saratoga Boulevard for a disturbance. When officers arrived, they heard a woman's screams coming from the locked warehouse, police said. Assistant Chief Mike Markle said Kavanaugh opened the door to the warehouse and was seen reaching for a gun from a holster. Kavanaugh was asked to drop the weapon, and when he did not comply, an officer shot him twice. He recovered and was arrested on suspicion of aggravated assault against a public servant, a first-degree felony. February 15, 2015, police said Jose Hernandez, 33, shot with a Corpus Christi police officer's gun after officers responded to multiple complaints of shots fired in the 4900 block of Doddy Street. According to police, Hernandez ignored the officer's command to drop his weapon and raised the weapon toward officers. No officers were injured. Hernandez is currently hospitalized and will be arrested on a warrant for attempted capital murder of a peace officer once released.
Alleging it's a 2-vehicle accident, both trucks. Information still coming in. Work off. Group 7, 1659.
He reinstated once. Now he doesn't understand why he has to fight for his job back again. Andrew Ellison explains as 6 investigates.
I feel I was fired for doing my job.
That's how Anthony Zamora felt the first time he got fired. The second time he got fired, he didn't know what to say.
Very degrading.
Degrading because he successfully appealed his termination the first time, only to be fired again over the same incident. It all started here back in May at the Walmart near Greenwood and SCID. Zamora was working off-duty as security for the store.
I observed a man walking with a long gear-driven chain.
A chain that was over 6 inches long, something that's against the law in Corpus Christi, particularly because a chain like that can be used as a deadly weapon.
I think we need to find it, so...
I'll make sure you clear out that assist for now.
With that in mind, Zamora approached the man and said his only intention was to warn him and ask him to put it away.
I informed him if he did not put it away, I was going to cite him, confiscate it, and possibly arrest him. And at that point, he refused the warning and said, you're going to have to catch me. He evaded, pushed me, shoved me to the ground.
15-13-06, I'll show you back around. That assist. 5532-10-75.
Arrested him, but the man was never charged. CCICPD investigated the case and found that the man didn't evade arrest or assault the officer. Chief Kirby Warnicki had Zamora fired.
She actually has an ID out of Indiana instead of Texas.
Some cases refuted by the video evidence Officer Zamora provided. We viewed this video multiple times with other law enforcement agents and members of the Nueces County Attorney's Office. This officer did nothing wrong. Zamora never got a copy of the complaint the man filed against him, something district policy says must be done before an officer is fired. And while CCIC released a copy of the complaint to us, Zamora and his attorney say they've never seen it. One of the reasons they appealed his termination to begin with.
I won the appeal. I was reinstated. And on my first day back to work, I was then terminated a second time for the same reason.
Now, Zamora has to win another appeal to get his job back. But even if he does, he says he'll never truly feel like the district has his back. Something he says other officers are worried about.
Adam X-ray 13363.
Actually, are fearing that this could happen to them for any particular reason.
Andrew Ellison,
Now, Zamora has more than 20 years of law enforcement experience. Zamora's second appeal is expected to happen this week. CCIC says wanted the appeal process to get going. And coming up...
John 8876, and was that
a jail employee who was behind...
That's right. A jail employee arrested at work on Tuesday after the sheriff's office discovered there were 2 open warrants. Our Jane Caffrey is live to jail tonight. Jane, tell us how all this went down.
Until 9 p.m.
Kimberly Luna
I'll be on
just
patrol
started
too.
working here at the jail in January. She even passed a background test to become an employee. But after jail officials found out about a tip that there was possible misconduct, they found out that she had warrants from 2011, and that's what put her behind bars. That's the 34-year-old's mugshot there. Luna had 2 open warrants for failure to report CCPD cases. They stemmed from an arrest in 2011 when she was going by the name Kimberly Sears. That's when she was caught stealing $5 where $87 from HEB on Padre Island Drive. After her arrest, a police officer was walking her out of loss prevention when she tried to throw him down the stairs. Now Luna faces theft and resisting arrest charges. Both of those cases still pending. She filed out of jail yesterday, but the sheriff's office is still looking into that possible misconduct in the jail. They could not give us specifics about that since it's currently under investigation, but they say it's something they take very seriously.
Once we received the information that there was an accusation of possible misconduct, we take it very seriously and start an investigation immediately.
Captain Rios told me before Luna was hired as a jailer, she did undergo a normal background given to all employees. But Rios told me that Luna did falsify information on that background check. We'll keep you updated as we learn more about this investigation. Reporting live for 6 News.
Bravo 350, disregard your screen. Bravo 320, Bravo 340 for a burglary alarm. Gonna be it. See your MDT for assignment.
Delta 2 and 4.
Just getting their bags and they're leaving. There were a couple of teenage kids.
Past TIAs. Diabetes and hypertension. She currently has a GCS of 13. She has some slight facial disturbance to the right side. She was not responding to us on scene. She's now starting to respond. They ran a 12 lead and we went ahead and sent it to y'all. You guys can take a look at it. We show ST elevation in leads 2-3 and ABF. Inferior. We're about 5 minutes out. Her blood pressure is 133 over 74. Her heart rate is 60. We did not give her aspirin due to aspiration risk. We have an IV established. We're about 5 minutes out.
Bravo 320, it's going to be for a female yelling that she wants to go home. Caller advises that she sounds like a juvenile. Your contact's going to be a Frank Aguilar. Be advised there's a black 2016 Ford Explorer possibly involved.
Where's he at? It doesn't say on the phone.
And that's the call taker.
Oh, we've taken the entrance onto HEB parking lot.
You guys in the HEB parking lot?
Yeah, the entrance to HEB, which is on
10-4.
680.
14.
Yeah, there's no accident. It's not going to be a major, just a regular accident. 10-4. 2, 10-4. Numbers in progress. Yes, I am. And a half Highland. 2839 and a half Highland. Contact Carlos.
Good to wait.
No, 240. Have you issued a crash number yet?
10-4, thank you, babe.
10-4. You coming in 10 low volume? You said Gustavo Garcia? 10-12-42? Got it. 10-4. Hey, Adam? With an address out of Fremont, Texas. Okay, so can you confirm insurance on the vehicle stop? Boy Victor 72909. 10-4. Boy Victor 72909 showing confirmed to Gustavo Garcia Jr. for 2005 Chevy Silverado. Expires 6/3/2019 for Progressive County Mutual Insurance Company. Sure, appreciate it. 10-4. I think is advising he cannot hear. Maybe something caught inside his ear. 44-year-old male, work off higher dispatch 1718. I guess gate code for it. Delta 270, Delta 2. Delta DMT? Yes, boss. 7-2. Yes, 913, sir. He has a card missing, his gen fare. He's about 29, heading outbound right now. 913, Delta. Plate 1721. Delta 250, copy another plate. Henry Norris, Zebra 5361. 19-year-old female. She took approximately 18 Tylenol and unknown amount of other assorted medications that were there in the drawer. She was trying to hurt herself. Currently we got vitals of 167 on 112. Got a heart rate of 110, setting at 98%. Got a finger stick of 103. We do have an IV established. She took these pills sometime this afternoon. She was unable to give us an exact time. ETA would be about 5 to 7 minutes. Copy that, medication 5 to 7. 2034 airline, 2034 airline at the Stripes. Contact Gabriel. Is that a repeat call from earlier? Yes. Good play, sir. Yep. Be home and false alarm. Good far. Bravo 340, I'll show you now to 2034 airline, 2034 airline for a property assist at the Stripes. New York Apartments, Unit 1430, 1430, Cross Street of Airport. Information still coming in on the patient, work off.
Yeah, I have to trace every customer that contacts my wind turbine business. I want financially compensated for that too, along with the disinformation and slander Nueces County law enforcement's conducted with their radio equipment. Yeah, I have to trace every customer that contacts my...
It was a moving disturbance, and this was where the RP had pulled over. Location to see Mark. Bravo 330, where's that for? That's far. Bravo 330, would you like Bravo 330?
They've harassed me by email for the last 7 years, along with telephone calls as well.
Not twice, but they also gave 1413A. So if it's not 1431, it'll be 1413. Location 5113 Green Park, number 2.
Yeah, and that radio equipment they're running around my house isn't making my internet cut out, just so they know they're stupid.
Number 380, 10 for Bravo 340, I'll shake line. 30, location. 37 southbound at Buddy Lawrence, George Frank King, 6379. The children left the area already. Bravo 330, 10 for. CP40, same traffic.
I spent extra money and got highly shielded internet cables and a really powerful Wi-Fi access point. And I had the cable company run the cable to the house underground. I want financially compensated for that as well.
You know that 3-vehicle accident thing before the Leopard exit? Yeah, I'm on view. You're gonna need a rotation out here on the rush. And they cleared this 348 and the accident 26 northbound at Leopard. 94, 348. One vehicle disabled in the middle lane. Complaining of arm pain, request EMS. 94. Delta 2 copy? Yeah, show me 57 my part. I can head up there for traffic control for now. I need to push 348. Also gonna need a second record. And apparently there's another vehicle disabled that is on the Leopard off-ramp in the middle of the road. Another vehicle disabled, Leopard off-ramp.
Yeah, the disinformation campaign's claiming I'm guilty of some crime, making excuses for harassing me because they know it's being live streamed on YouTube, or me having a Broadcastify scanner stream while they fucking harass me and slander me and my business. Those lame-ass excuses they make up, the false charges and false incarceration and false incrimination and all that kind of stuff, that's you know, kind of illegal for law enforcement to do, isn't it? I guess being friends with drug cartels at law enforcement agencies down here in Corpus Christi should be illegal too, but they still do it.
1017 Donna, 1017 Donna, cross street with Vernon. It's going to be a 64-year-old female. Had hip replacement, can't walk. Information still coming in. Work off our dispatch, 1734. Any out of jail for me? Go ahead. It's going to be out of Arizona. 28 is going to be boy 10878965. Copy. Building. Several cars out there. No workers in the construction jacket. There's not one of the doors to the building. All of that. I'm going to need a 3 rotation. Can you copy the first plate? Yes, go ahead with the plate. First one's going to be George Paul David, 1 Paul Henry. Female is following her. Suspect vehicle is going to be a dark Jeep. Cost of being updating. Adam Robert Edward, Lincoln, Adam Nora Ocean, first name Lisa, the 1125 of 85. Lisa Ariana?
Listen to that piece of shit try to target my mother named Donna. What are they going to claim it's the dipshit at Luciano's?
They work hard every day to keep drugs off our streets, to stop human trafficking, to protect our communities from gang violence, and yes, to enforce our immigration laws. Theirs can be a thankless job, but they do it with courage, dedication.
What's that, Louis Mechanical? You're an old cocksucking maggot fuck and you burn your house down because you didn't pay the cartel?
Overwhelming support.
Your kids didn't pay the drug money back, so they burnt down your shit? Louis, out in Florida? Is that what happened, you old fucking cocksucker? Is that the reason you were mad at the fire department for 3 or 4 years?
Resolution. Merely expressing support for the men and women of ICE. Only 18 Democrats voted yes. 8 skipped the vote. 34 voted no. And 133 Democrats voted present. Which is the same thing as no. That's a pretty sad state of affairs. 34 Democrats condemn the men and women of ICE, and 141 Democrats don't even have the courage of their conviction. They don't even have the guts to vote yes or no. Because we all know Democrats, in their heart of hearts, want to abolish ICE. The way they tell it, ICE is a rogue agency driven by hatred and spite to tear apart communities. Congressman Pocan of Wisconsin says ICE is ripping the moral fabric of our nation. Congresswoman Hayapol of Washington says ICE is out of control. Congressman Blumenauer of Oregon calls ICE toxic. And the senior senator from Massachusetts says we should replace ICE with something that reflects our values, which I suppose means that the 20,000 men and women of ICE don't measure up to the professor's definition of our values. But I have to ask, isn't the rule of law one of those values? Because ICE's job is simply to enforce the law and to protect our citizens from crime. In the last year alone, ICE arrested more than 125,000 illegal aliens with criminal records. Those illegal aliens were responsible for more than 80,000 DUIs, 76,000 dangerous drug offenses, 48,000 assaults, 11,000 weapon offenses, 5,000 sexual assaults, 2,000 kidnappings, and 1,800 homicides. Yes, that's right, almost 2,000 souls still be on this earth, but for those illegal alien criminals. ICE's investigative arm also seized more than 980,000 pounds of narcotics last year. These men and women are on the front lines of the war on drugs and the opioid crisis in particular. Do the Democrats really believe we should put all these efforts to unfold? This call to abolish ICE is so irresponsible.
Yeah, Stephen Lewis thinks he's God or some shit. He's fucked.
Those not running for president or beholden to the radical left are speaking out against it. Jay Johnson, President Obama's former Secretary of Homeland Security, has said it's not a serious policy proposal and compromise public safety. He's pointed out that even those who oppose the Vietnam War wouldn't have demanded that we abolish the Department of Defense. Eric Holder, President Obama's former Attorney General, has said, I don't think that substantively or politically that makes a great deal of sense, calling it a gift to Republicans. And Sarah Saldana, who ran ICE under President Obama, has called it nonsensical. But perhaps the most insightful comment came from former Senator Joe Lieberman of Connecticut. He said, this makes no sense unless you no longer want any rules on immigration or customs to be enforced. And that, I would contend, is the whole point. Those who want to abolish ICE really just want open borders. The very bill House Democrats have introduced to abolish ICE doesn't even say which federal agency should assume its critical law enforcement duties. They just leave it up to a commission. And the reason I would submit is that they don't really care. Their obsession with open borders is so great that they are willing to risk public safety to achieve it. These irresponsible politicians should know that. They aren't worthy to lead the brave, hardworking men and women of ICE. These officers are just trying to do their job and to keep us safe. So on behalf of the grateful nation, I conclude by again extending them my deepest thanks. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Minority Whip.
Mr. President, I join the Senator from Arkansas in commending those who are involved in law enforcement, risking their lives for the safety of this nation at all levels, federal, state, and local. They put the badges on every single day and risk their lives for us, and that's a fact. And within the Department of Homeland Security, there are men and women who are conscientiously trying to keep America safe. I commend them as well. I believe that they are doing their job as they understand it, and they're risking their lives many times to achieve it. To not only stop the illegal flow of drugs into our country, but to deter crime, to ferret out criminals where possible, and they risk their lives to achieve that goal. I have not joined in a call for the abolition of ICE, but I will not join in a call for the adoration of ICE because of one specific issue. The zero-tolerance policy of the Trump administration resulted in our agents in the Department of Homeland Security forcibly separating children from their parents. Forcibly separating up to 3,000 children from their parents. I saw some of those kids separated by that agency. They were toddlers and infants. Some were being held by the care workers that I happened to visit up in Chicago. Little babies taken from their mothers. Children 5 and 6 years old. Separated by this agency under the President's zero-tolerance policy. Up to 3,000 of them, according to the administration's own estimates. Had that happened before? Only rarely. But it became the policy of this administration until there was such an uproar in the United States and around the world that President Trump reversed his position on zero tolerance. But reversing the position did not return the children to their parents. It took federal courts to do that, and one in particular in San Diego. And the judge called the representatives of ICE, Health and Human Services, all the other agencies involved in these children being removed forcibly from their parents, and gave them deadlines to return the children to their parents. And it was then that we discovered something about this agency. It was then that we discovered that they didn't keep a record of the parents and kids.
It's actually a moving
If you place an order online, Amazon or some other source,
following the RTA, yelling at
and the next day you want to check on the status
looks like road
of
rage,
your
but the
order,
vehicle stopped following the
you
RTA
use
and
your
now he's
tracking
declining
number and
contact
they'll tell
with
you where your
officers.
package
Do you
is.
still want to send officers to check the
There's
area?
no tracking number when it came to these kids. If you decide that you're going to order a pizza, and it seems to take a little too long, and you call the pizza parlor, they can generally tell you where the messenger is, or the delivery person. And the same thing's true in so many other areas. So why then did this agency, which my colleagues are now coming to the floor, claiming such great praise for, ignore the obvious? This agency, the Department of Homeland Security, ended up setting free 3,000 children into care facilities around the United States of America and didn't keep records of their parents. And we asked them several weeks ago downstairs, all the agencies, including ICE, referred to by the senator from Arkansas, we asked them, okay, let's get down to basics. How many kids are we talking about? They wouldn't give us a number. How many kids under the age of 5? Those are the ones